Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2, and today we're finally going to be diving into Year 6 Season 1. Now, there's a few things that I want to check out with this latest update to the game, but for this first video and topic, I wanted to go over some of the new items that we got with this season. Many people have been saying there's nothing new or good to check out this season. And look, sometimes, depending on what kind of player you are, what kind of playstyles that you like to do, sometimes that's going to happen. For me personally, I think this time around, stuff like the new rifle-based gear set isn't quite as universal as some of us were hoping it was. I've found some niche purposes with it with guns like the Ravenous. I want to do some more testing there. You of course then have stuff like the new exotic Overlord shotgun, which I think looks amazing. The actual functionality of it is a bit more niche for sure. And there's some other things like the exotic knee pads that I want to do some further testing in environments like the DZ. But as a whole, at least when it comes to the community perspective, I haven't seen the discussion shift towards that one item that everybody's like, oh, this is really good. However, in this video, I want to say maybe there is. Because while it's not as flashy as a new exotic, the new talent that we got this season, and specifically the new named items that it comes on, have proven from my testing and some things that I've looked up in the community to be really quite strong. So in this video in particular, I want to highlight the new Brazen Shotgun talent and the Thorn named Spaz 12 that it comes on, because I think these things have quickly risen the charts and become some pretty strong contenders in the endgame. And as somebody who usually doesn't use shotguns in a lot of PvE content, I've been having a lot of fun with this so far. So we're going to dive into the game and check it out, and of course show you some gameplay of it. As always though, if you end up enjoying the video and you want to see more coverage like this on the Division 2, then be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I got a lot more videos coming your way, but without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, so this is the new talent in question that we're going to be covering in this video. Brazen, again, was added this update exclusively for shotguns. And as you can see, the base version reads, receive plus 3% amplified damage on the next shot with the weapon for each pellet that hits the target if at least 6 pellets hit. So yeah, a couple of reasons why this is pretty good. For one, compared to a lot of other talents in the game, it doesn't require you to do anything, right? You don't have to be low in the mag like you do for Optimist. You don't have to first get a kill like you need for Close and Personal or Pummel. This is just land your shots and get a bunch of amplified damage. That's the other reason why this is so good, is because amplified damage, of course, gives you more per percentage point than flat weapon damage does. And it's noteworthy to mention that this got a pretty good increase in buff from the PTS. On the PTS, it was only 1% amplified damage, so the amount here has been tripled, and that's what's led to a lot of people saying that, yeah, this is one of the best new contenders for high-end shotgun talents. But we're not done yet, because if you take a look at the perfect version of this, it gets even better. This is the new Thorn named Spaz 12 that Perfect Brazen comes on. I've given this one a lot of resources already. It's at 15 expertise, because yeah, this thing hits very hard, as you saw in the gameplay and as you'll see later on. But if we take a look at what the perfect version does on this, you have the normal functionality of getting 3% damage per pellet hit, but you only need 4 pellets to hit, so you can be more inaccurate and still get the damage. It's more forgiving in that regard, but also there's a secondary sentence there that says killing an enemy will provide 8% amplified damage on the next shot. So now you're getting damage every time you hit a shot, and when you kill a target, you then get even more on the next opening shot that you hit. So in combination, that's just a lot of damage, right? And because it's amplified, because you don't have to do a bunch of conditions to unlock it, it ends up being very strong. Now there's some testing that I want to do with this just to show you guys the overall damage levels. I have 2 Spaz 12s here. I have a secondary Thorn that has a bit lower stats, and then I also got a secondary Spaz 12 with very similar stats that has Pummel on it instead. So very quickly, I want to run down to the shooting range and compare those two. Alright, so let's come down here and do some quick comparisons, just to show you the difference between the 2 Spaz 12s that I'm running here. I tried to get them very close in stats. They're not identical, but they are pretty close. The one with Pummel here has slightly higher base damage, whereas the one with Brazen has slightly higher damage to armor. But again, they're both Spaz 12s. They have the same base archetype and stats there, and then there's the one difference in talent. And again, Pummel is what I think a lot of people consider to be one of the better existing high-end shotgun talents, and so that's the one we're going to compare against. But it is important to point out that I'm not trying to say that this is like clear-cut. Brazen is like now the best shotgun talent. There's certainly differences, and one of the advantages of Pummel for sure is the fact that you get the reload functionality on the 3rd kill, and that matters quite a bit on something like a Spaz 12 where the reload does take you a good second. But I think what you'll see is the consistency in damage that Brazen offers can be really valuable compared to how Pummel you have to build it up with 3 kills, right? So let's take a look at Pummel first. We have to get the 3 kills again, so let's start doing that. On this build I do have Intimidate, so that's going to build up as we get some of these kills here, so you'll see the damage kind of ramp up. Alright, we're at 2 kills, and then after this last one, it's going to refill the mag and start that 40% damage window, so this is when you're going to see the highest values, where we're hitting 922 to the body. I think we can hit over 1 million pretty easily if we keep going here. Yeah, right there, 1.16 million. Alright, but now let's take a look at the Brazen version of this with the Thorn. So again, we have to build it up when we're going to get Intimidate going here, but I think the big advantage to this is that the damage is way more consistent, because it's not on every third kill, it's every shot that you hit, you're getting that amplified amount. So we're already hitting over 900,000, we're building up our Hunter's Fury and Intimidate stacks here, and pretty soon we should be able to hit over 1 million, which again should be happening on pretty much every clip. There's 1.08. If we keep going, yeah, 1.59, so we now surpass the amount that we were getting with Pummel. And again, you can do that as long as you keep getting kills pretty consistently. So that's the overall showcase and demonstration that I wanted to make here, people. Again, we're not saying that Brazen is like clear-cut the new best shotgun talent to use in the game, but it's absolutely got to be in the top 5, if not the top 3. And compared to things like Pummel, like Close and Personal, you've got a really strong new option here with shotguns, and especially on this Thorn named variant, it's very, very strong. So I'm going to switch to some further gameplay just to show you what's up with this thing, but if you want an idea of the build that I'm going to be running in the further gameplay and in this video, this is it right here. We've got 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury. We're just rolling crit on everything. I have 2 blues and 4 red cores total. We then have a Seska chest piece for the extra crit chance with Intimidate on there. We have a Somber backpack for the extra crit damage with Bloodsucker on there. And there's certainly more experimentation that I would want to do on this. I could try slotting in a Memento and see how that goes with all the damage bonus that you get from that. If we take a look at this crit stats, I have 53 and 115 total on the Thorn here. So as usual, this is in no means the only way to run this. This is just what I've been trying out with it so far. We're using the Firewall here to get the extra damage from the Firewall Striker shield. But yeah, lots of different variations you could test out as usual. But I've been having a lot of fun with the Thorn so far. Alright everybody, so there you have it. That was your preview of the new Brazen shotgun talent that got added in the Division 2's latest update alongside its named variant, the Thorn. As I said, been having a lot of fun with this, and I would go so far as to say that this is probably the most universally strong new seasonal item that we got this update, at least for what the most amount of people are going to do with it. So if you hadn't caught on to that yet, then I certainly hope you try it out and have a lot of fun with it if you do. As previously stated, I'm going to now roll some further gameplay, me going through a control point with this thing. Again, you can use it in a wide variety of content, but on Heroic, if I can one-shot, you know, the majority, well, definitely all reds and purples, and even some yellows in some cases, that's pretty strong. So I'm excited to see what you all can do with it. Let me know if you have any thoughts on builds or things that you plan to use with this. Certainly leave that all down below. As well as usual, let me know any thoughts or further questions that you have about this whole deal. More Year 6 Season 1 coverage coming up soon. I got some more things that I want to check out, so stay tuned for that. But that's going to do it for me on this one, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Out.